When Hallmark gets it right, they really get it right.
Oh boy, do they.
So this month we saw 3 films tied together with a veil and a story. So let's see who takes home the bronze, the silver, and the glory. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, sign up for alerts if you're enjoying the content so far. We'd really appreciate it.
We try and upload once or twice a week, so please keep coming back.
So this is the final installment of the Wedding Veil Trilogy. So it recently premiered. It's called The Wedding Veil Legacy. It's now Tracy's turn with the veil.
Yeah, you know what? I wasn't as excited for this one in terms of a movie because I felt like we might have already seen the best. But boy, was I wrong.
Yes, we were wrong. So let's do a quick recap. The Wedding Veil Trilogy is about 3 college friends who share a 19th century wedding veil said to bring whoever possesses it true love. So I just want to say I really loved this movie. I'd put it in my top 5 Hallmark faves. You too?
I definitely.
Yeah.
Within the first 15 minutes, I was like, oh, this is a hit for sure.
This was my favorite of the 3, very much. I was thoroughly entertained throughout, from beginning to end.
And engaged. I was like, it felt more like a rom-com, more like a Hallmark movie to me. Like, I forgot it was a veil story, actually, which is a good thing, I think.
So let's get into what this one's about. So Tracy, played by Alison Sweeney, meets Nick, played by Victor Webster, a successful New York City chef and restaurateur, about to open his new fusion restaurant, which is Italian and Asian, which seems pretty interesting. So Tracy hires Nick to cater a special gala at the museum where she works as a curator. As Tracy and Nick begin to get to know each other, she learns about his love of history and art, and he helps Tracy find a suitable donor for the original draft of the new Colossus, which is a poem that appears on the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I never knew the actual history of that
No, they
poem.
refer to it as the Lazarus poem because I think Emma Lazarus was the author of that poem.
Gotcha.
So Tracy begins to feel uneasy as her and Nick get closer. She comes from a divorced family. She's going through a recent breakup from her long-term boyfriend. So she's built up a wall. But of course, fear ultimately gets pushed aside for love to prevail.
Prevail with the veil.
So what did we think? So I'll go first here.
Okay.
Whenever I start to tell that a movie's pacing is spot on, I know I'll really like it. And I can tell pretty much early on that the pacing here was great. What I particularly loved was that we finally got to meet Finn, played by Toby Levins.
We heard about him in the last 2 movies. I was like, are we ever actually going to meet him?
Yeah, so this is Tracy's long-term boyfriend. I liked that we stayed with their relationship and ultimate breakup for the first few minutes of the movie. I thought that was really realistic.
I love that we finally got to meet him and get some closure on a breakup we already knew was going to happen. We knew this breakup was going to happen in the first movie. So.
I liked that we saw that they had mutual respect and admiration for each other. They just realized that their lives were essentially just drifting apart. It was a very mature breakup. I really liked we started Tracy's journey with that.
Yeah, me too.
Although one little nitpicky thing, I guess, was when you're saying goodbye to someone you've had like a romantic relationship with, a long-term romantic relationship with, I think more than a hug would be expected when you're moving apart and you're breaking up. Oh, why wouldn't they kiss? Or...
I guess. And quite honestly, if you want to go there, because in a real relationship, and if that was an amicable thing, they probably would have went and had sex one more time.
Probably.
I mean, it's
probably. I mean, if we're being real, probably.
But of course, we can't do that in Hallmark.
That's not allowed. Another thing that we liked was where unexpectedly bumping into someone can be believable. The writing here wasn't lazy like it was, I think, in the latest one. So Tracy first meets Nick at a tailor's shop. So he's getting his tux tailored and she's getting the snag in the veil fixed.
Yeah, after Avery sets up the meeting for her and says, don't be late. And she is late. Nick takes her spot because he's early.
So right off the bat, there's some quick-witted banter between them. You can tell they're both smart. They're both very cultured. They have that New York savviness about them.
Yeah, they're both kind of like sarcastic and wry with each other right away.
That was probably some of the best writing in the whole movie was that initial meetup. It was excellent.
Yeah, I really liked it.
But then they meet again. So this is when I was saying this is a good example of meeting someone unexpectedly that doesn't resort to any kind of lazy writing.
Nope.
So Tracy's coworker Stanley, who's played brilliantly by Matty Finocchio, he was a great comic relief.
I've seen this character before, and he's actually, I think, in the movie coming up
this
weekend. Yeah, he's great. So
anyway, he is her coworker at the museum, and he takes her out for lunch to an Italian restaurant. And Tracy's loving the food, and she thinks this would be great for the upcoming gala at the museum.
And who's the chef?
Of course, She wants to speak to the chef, and it's Nick.
It was really natural, and I was like, oh my God. And I was actually like sweating anticipatorily because I knew they were going to meet right in
but
that
they did
way.
it in a very natural way. It didn't resort to, are you following me?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, some more thoughts. What I did find that throughout the movie, there was less and less reference to the actual veil. The veil kind of took a bit of a back seat.
I think there's a lot less need to go into more story about the veil because they had already figured out so much about it by like the intro of the second movie. So now it was just time for good old proof. Let's see the veil in action.
It actually didn't deter from the whole story not talking about the veil as much in the last installment. We know the veil is kind of working its magic in the background by bringing Tracy and Victor together. We kind of already know that. And I actually like that they didn't hammer it home. You know, the screenwriting error that you don't like force feed the story to the audience. Like let the audience assume that we know what's going on. We don't need to be spoon fed everything. I think they're kind of adopting that, you know, in a Hallmark way.
Yeah.
But in the end, you know, we find out that the veil has actually connected all three girls in more ways than one. So
Quite a lot.
it's actually Nick's grandmother, who was the love child from the second installment.
And that's Paula Shaw, right?
Yeah. And somehow now Tracy and Emma are now cousins by marriage. And Peter RSVP'd to the wedding. I was so excited to see him and Avery together at the wedding.
Yeah.
Paolo didn't show up though.
That was one prediction we had from the last one, or not prediction, I was wondering, would everybody be in this one? And not a peep from Paolo, unfortunately.
No.
We missed you.
They did kind of play it off as he had to take a later flight. So, and Emma and him had to kind of separate, and she took the earlier flight so that she wouldn't miss the wedding, because obviously she's in the wedding and she has to be there.
Yeah.
He showed up later.
I know there's some
think.
budgetary things, and there's probably not cost effective to fly in Mr. Handsome from Italy for one line at the end of the thing.
It would have been great to have all of the men.
Well, however, I think
really
if they knew that it was going to do this well, they might have just dished out the cash for the extra, yeah.
I think they should have. I think they knew what they were doing, and they knew it was a strong end to a trilogy. So let's talk performances. So I think the two leads here were perfect. I really, really loved them together. I thought the chemistry was spot on. I just loved how mature they both were. No one was over the top. No one was annoyingly clingy or cheesy in any way.
Yeah, they even managed to like avoid any awkwardness between their characters at all. I think Tracy only once in the movie kind of gets like overwhelmed, and it's at her friends. She's like, just stop with the pressure. Like, I need to be alone. Like right near the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
There's never a missed beat between them.
Never. I loved them both, but I think the standout for me was Nick. So even when Tracy was kind of showing how scared she was to love again towards the end, she's afraid to take a chance. But Nick was the perfect gentleman in that scene, saying that she could take her time, not forcing her to do anything, not being desperate in any way, just being very chill and laid back about it. And I thought that was perfect.
He was, and right away I want to say he's my favorite thing in the movie. I'm just wrestling with it because this was probably my favorite performance I've ever seen from Alison Sweeney.
Me too.
And
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie,
I'm
kind of usually annoyed by the character she plays. I kind of hated her in Days of Our Lives. I think you're supposed to.
This is my favorite performance of hers.
Me too.
Nick I just found him so charming and so charismatic, like throughout the whole movie. He was a keeper. When she was scared and didn't want to pursue anything further, I was just like, girl, no. Like, you can't let that guy go.
And you know what? He shot straight up to my top 5.
Oh yeah, Tyler
leading
Hines,
guys.
Andrew Walker.
Victor Webster.
Victor Webster.
We'll just put him at 3 for now. I don't think there was 1 second with him wasted on screen. He used every
And I loved
minute.
the little interludes of them like going back to her apartment, carrying up these really big area rugs because she's in the process of redecorating and he's there to help, and they kind of like check out the rugs. And I liked that they had that reoccurring scene like throughout. Yeah.
And I do have to say that my favorite reveal part in the movie was when the girls finally got to meet him.
Yes, at
really
his restaurant.
Near, it was closer to the end, wasn't it?
Like mid halfway. Yeah.
I like that Stanley was referring to him as Tuxedo. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Also, Matt Finocchio was a great comic relief, as we mentioned. So he's a really funny actor, and he's really great at like kind of pushing the story along in a comedic way.
I'm finding those characters are super important, and you would think in a movie like this it was less important, but he actually drove
he added a lot to it.
Yeah, he was
for
great.
sure. And then of course Paula Shaw is the Nonna, as we mentioned, another grandmother role, but she's perfect at it. I loved it. I loved it.
I think there's a quote about there's old school and then
She's
there's
not
Italian old school.
Matter.
She's also kind of like roasting Nick a little bit for his Italian fusion restaurant, and we're like, that's not Italian.
Why would you fuse Italian and Asian? Like, it's not Italian, so it's not good. That's
China invented like noodles and pizza technically, so
No, I know.
China's
But don't tell the Italian people that. They won't.
Your mom would hate that.
Believe that. They won't. So let's get a little bit nitpicky.
Well, we have to. I mean, this movie was near perfect, so
it
pull
was.
it apart
We loved
wherever
it, but
we can.
a few tiny little criticisms. So I got a little tired when Nick's Italian kind of came out, like the Italian hands, like, hey, I'm Italian. You know, like he did it a few times. It didn't happen often, but there were a few times, and I'm just like,
I was okay with it because I felt like, we gotta hammer home some of the Italianness, and also right now, I just thought of this right now, and maybe it is also because Paula Shaw doesn't come off very Italian. So
no, she doesn't.
To anchor this character around Danona, and she's just like white lady for sure, right?
Yeah, no, I understand that she really doesn't. Like, no,
and nobody in the family. The sister did a little bit.
Well,
but
they're all American because, as we later find out,
New York Italian's very different.
Yes, that's true too. But they've been in the United States for a very long time. This is like third generation or something, right? Things. I mean,
we had to find something.
I know this is being really nitpicky, but whatever.
Yeah. So, what we thought about the trilogy as a whole.
What did we think about the trilogy? So, I mean, this was a great third installment, and I thought this was a really lovely way to wrap up this trilogy. We get to see more of the girls together, which was really nice, and I think we have the best chemistry between two people in this last.
I think
installment.
so. It was definitely a neck race between
Avery and Peter were great too.
Absolutely, they had a lot more.
Paulo
drama,
was
so
just,
I think we just
really handsome, so it was nice to just kind of see him on screen. And then of course Emma's like really pretty, and like, you know, I honestly
let's just say number 2 was the eye candy film.
Eye candy film, yeah, like that's true. I think so, because not only with the people but the setting.
Yeah, exactly. The whole thing is just like.
But this third installment, like, it was romantic. It was not overly cheesy at all. The performances were like so great, and the writing, the witty banter.
Big shout out to the Burke sisters. Is that?
But they really hit it home in this last installment. I loved it.
And you know, when you have 3 at bats,
it's always tough.
Exactly. You expect one of them to fail, and the one that failed.
Usually it's the first one that's the best, and then it progressively gets worse, historically with trilogies or whatever.
Yeah, things. I'm always on a different side of the fence with those. Like I like the ones that are off.
Ones?
Yeah. Like, I like Return of the Jedi.
I mean, in all honesty, I'm not like a huge fan of like trilogies in general, but this one in particular was great. It was exactly what we needed. It wasn't too much. It wasn't too little. They were all good in their own unique way, but this last one was just such a perfect way to wrap it up.
100%.
So entertaining.
Are we gonna rank them now, or like?
So let's rank them now because
they
we're talking about all 3.
The mark.
They all hit the hallmark.
They all hit the hallmark
for sure. But if we were to rank them, let's do like a little Olympic style kind of ranking.
Bronze, silver, and gold.
So bronze, I think we're gonna do the Wedding Veil Unveiled.
It is.
You know, I hate putting like the
Italy last.
The more Italian forward one
third
last.
winner.
I know, but I just preferred the writing of the other ones, and for me, it's always like the writing.
The writing and the chemistry.
And the chemistry and the performance.
It's funny because I really
all the important stuff.
I know, right? I really like
the setting though was above all the best out of the 3. But that's not enough to catapult it to like silver or gold.
No,
I don't think.
No, for sure.
So silver?
Silver is just the Wedding Veil.
Number 1.
I mean, and this was close. Very close.
The first Wedding Veil, I should say.
Yeah, sorry.
Number 1. But,
I feel like it was close, but the Wedding Veil Legacy.
No, I agree. Yeah, so Wedding Veil Legacy is definitely in the gold slot here, the gold position for sure. I loved it. Can I say that more? I keep saying I love it.
That's fine. I loved it too. I was super excited.
Just want to make sure we're saying like, you know, it's the writing, it's the performances, it's the pacing.
Yeah, but it's also a feeling. You know, when like, you know, within the first 20 minutes, I was like, this is Hallmark gold.
As I was saying,
I mean, so they ended this off talking about, we got to go back to San Fran, and you know, all the Twitterverse.
So they're setting up for new trilogy, maybe up and coming. I don't know. I don't think we'll see another veil. I thought maybe they'd see a bib for like a baby, but Hallmark won't go there.
A lot of the fans were saying, well, now it's in Victor's family, so the sisters are going to take on the thing.
Yes, I saw
and
that too. Yeah, I mean that would work too, but it's kind of like been there, done that.
It's been there, done that, and then you don't have the star power or the firepower. I mean, they have to. They can do something like it, maybe related to it, or maybe even just one follow-up movie where everybody has kids.
I liked the one Reddit guy or whoever it was, the one Reddit user. You know, I wish they would do a male version and use Tyler Hines, Paul Campbell, and Andrew Walker.
That's amazing.
That would be so cool.
That is my dream movie. movie
That would be
coming
such a
this
huge
summer.
hit.
The Wedding Jersey.
I don't know if that would just be too much. Like I don't know. That's more of like a comedy, maybe, I guess.
Kind of. It's almost like you don't have to do a spin on it, like kind of like Boys Weekend, and then like every time one of them gets hitched or something weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
I'm not sure how that would
It's
work.
a fun idea for sure. I would love to see it, but I don't think
Hallmark.
it actually will happen.
Put a pin in the Wedding Jersey. Call me.
But then also, like, it was really cool to see, like, the love numbers all over Twitter, all over Instagram. All the cast members are just really supporting one another, reminiscing about their time on set. Like, it just looks like a really fun filming experience for everybody.
Yeah, it
I
really
love that.
did. I was following along, and it was cozy.
It was very cool, very cute. So the writers were Judith Berg, Sandra Berg, and the trilogy is based on There Goes the Bride by Laurie Wilde, and Terry Ingram is the director.
Yep. And
Same for all three.
Yeah, and great job by everybody. You know, sometimes it's hard to keep a congruity between, especially when you go to Italy for the middle movie. But they
handled it very well.
Yeah, it felt cohesive. All right.
We like to always end our Hallmark reviews with our checklist to see if the film kind of
It's just our personal little Hallmark report card.
Yeah, our little report card. So we're going to go through the list right now. Here we go.
All right. So number 1, promotion or deadline?
Okay, I think yes, because there was a short little scene about the museum owner. He's going to have to retire.
And they're looking for the new version of him.
Yes, their new, like, and he was kind of talking to Tracy's
Well, basically,
character,
by the end of the
and
movie, he tells her that's her.
Pretty much.
So
there is a pending kind of promotion that she'll be promoted to director of the museum.
So ding.
So I say yes.
Absolutely.
Career-driven lead, obviously yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Big misunderstanding.
No.
I think we missed out on that one, and that's
No.
good. You know,
It doesn't always
don't
have
put
to
drama
happen.
where drama doesn't need to be.
Exactly.
Sometimes mystery is the drama.
Change of heart.
Oh, you know what?
Because
Change
she
of heart.
changed her mind.
They changed your mind about the veil.
She changed. Interesting. So that's 2.
Okay, I mean, that's a
changed her
big
mind
one.
about the veil and changed her mind about him and taking a chance.
Yeah, it's a definite thing. Someone gets dumped, fired, or dies.
Yes.
I mean, an amicable breakup counts.
For
That's
sure.
like dumping each other.
For sure.
right?
There's a breakup. There is a breakup there. And it actually happened on screen. So
And it's actually one of the
can
better.
actually give it to this one.
Dang, yeah, one
Yeah.
of the better breakups I've seen actually.
Second romance subplot.
I don't think we had one of those in any of these movies. It's like, you know, the Berg sisters are like, there's just too much.
No,
going
we
on.
just
Let's
need to focus.
we
Focus
need-
on
We need to write
the 2 leads.
This dead painter and like the love child. And,
Yeah, there's already all these like historical subplots everywhere else. We're just going to focus on the one romance
Fair.
subplot. Proposal or wedding,
Bajing.
of course.
That's good. I love that we got a 1, 2, 3 wedding
Loved
trilogy.
it. Loved it.
I mean, it's about a wedding veil. Like, how are you not?
You
gonna
have
do
to.
that? Well, actually,
travel issues?
on that note,
Oh,
travel issues, no, except I'm going to change it to yes. Because Paolo not showing up would be a travel issue for me.
You know what? Yes. Yes.
Nice.
Okay. So
I like
travel issues for Paulo.
I like
Man.
sorry.
Selling the house, business, farm.
No, that one did not show up in all 3 as well.
No.
It's just that's like one of those central plot devices where
Paulo's
it's like, well,
family
we
was
just
going
don't
to
need it.
expand the business, as we mentioned before.
Yeah,
but,
and they're doubling the restaurant. And,
Yeah.
And
they end up doing that, too.
Everybody's doing very well.
I mean, it's
These
perfect.
movies.
It's for everyone. Life is perfect.
Yeah. Big city to small town transition.
No.
Negatory.
We
are
stayed in New York City
baby.
the whole time.
Literally the biggest city you could.
It was great.
I don't think a
liked
stitch of it was shot in New York.
it. No, I think it's pretty much Canada, Vancouver.
It did say
usually, or
Canada,
BC
Vancouver.
in
I mean,
general.
usually they do Toronto for New York, but I don't think it was really necessary for this. So I'm pretty sure it
No,
was just
yeah,
BC.
I'm pretty sure it was BC. Mad
Almost
Dash.
Kiss.
Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot that one.
I mean, we always miss this or forget it.
This happened though.
There was.
Yes.
I missed it.
No, because you said, oh, there's an almost kiss there. And I'm like, yeah, there is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
definitely.
my live tweet.
Definitely.
Well, and a mad dash to the airport. Go get her.
No.
Unnecessary.
In fact, she does a mad dash to the restaurant to change her mind and confront him to like
Does that
open up to
count?
him. She did a mad. She was like running into the restaurant, remember? And she was all disheveled and out
maybe
of
she
breath.
did.
I mean, she went to go get him,
Go get her. Go get him.
which was great. I loved that scene. And then the kiss at the end.
The kiss was great.
Lifted her up and
actually,
love it.
Victor Webster, he made a really funny tweet saying like, "Wait till the outtakes come out where she picks me up and spins me around."
they're just all having so much fun with this, or they
Yeah.
have. Now it's over, but
It's a nice universe.
I really thoroughly enjoyed the whole trilogy. Our favorite was this last one. Definitely worth your time. Definitely worth a watch.
That's why the video's so long.
The whole trilogy is worth a watch, but this one in particular.
Absolutely. If
Hit
any of
the
them,
mark,
if any of
man.
them, I think maybe you can watch this one as a standalone. You don't need a lot of history of the veil and like their.
I mean, they just hint on it, so it might be a little like why is it called The Wedding Veil? Like, what's the big deal? But I do think as a whole, it's nice to watch them all.
Yeah.
Because then you get the whole picture of
It's a
this
good
veil.
trilogy experience. You know what? Next time, when they do eventually do a follow-up or something, we'll watch all 3 back to back into the
That would be
fourth
interesting,
one.
back to back, because we didn't watch them back to back. We just watched them as they premiered on TV.
Yeah.
So it would be good to
Next
kind of
trilogy.
rewatch.
Next trilogy we're doing is Star Wars.
Okay. Thank you all again for watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying the content so far.
Yeah, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Thank you for the support. Really appreciate it. More videos to come.
And we'll see you very soon.
Bye.